I used to write interest Islam on my resume when applying for jobs. How I got hired is genuine a mystery. To be fair, I never thought that I would actually convert. I actively started learning about Islam 8 years prior to taking my Shahada. Islam was both my passion and my hobby. I used to be riding home at 3 a.m. from the nightclub, intoxicated and having intense discussion and essentially dawah in the car. I used to sit after school talking with a group of Muslims, just casually asking questions about their personal practices. I read and I read more. My friends and family just thought it was some weird obsession of mine. I used to write interest Islam on my resume when applying for jobs. How I got hired is genuine a mystery. To be fair, I never thought that I would actually convert. I never thought I would convert because of what many Muslims involved in dawah work approach non-Muslims with. People who are interested in Islam are given the same set of pamphlets and books that are written from a very limited ideology, namely Salafi and Wahhabi. As an individual in the legal field, I just wasn't buying it. Given my own study of Islam, I couldn't understand why there was such a disconnect between the religion and what was being propagated. I believe this is doing a great injustice to people who have interest in Islam. You go from stereotypes to potentially erroneous information. I get messages from sisters all over the world who are interested in Islam but just need someone to answer their questions without pushing an agenda on them. We need better resources like this. The New Muslims Field Guide. For non-Muslims, I recommend that if you are interested in Islam and that's been placed in your heart, just stay open. It could be that you don't have the resources that you need. At the same time, don't pressure yourself. Focus on connecting with the Supreme Creator in whatever way feels right to you. For some, it's Islam, and for others, it might not be. But as someone who has converted, I can tell you that Islam and its particular ways of connecting has been one of the absolute greatest blessings in my life. People ask me why Islam, or why did I convert, or what interested me in Islam. What drew me to Islam was different from what drew me to convert. I never know how to answer what drew me to Islam because there's a multitude of reasons. I appreciated the logic behind Islamic theology. I thought that these theological concepts better aligned with my own inner concepts of God. I loved how so many Muslims I knew actually walked the talk in their beliefs and practices. Then there's the indescribable beauty of it all. The poetry, the art, the recitation of the Quran, the folds and the flow of fabric in the world. After 8 years, why did I finally convert? It was my environment. Blessed me with access to a non-judgmental, loving space that focused on the rules or requirements of Islam as ways of gaining closeness to the love of God rather than simply an obligation. I remember 2 weeks before my Shahada, I had a conversation with one of my best friends who, although Muslim, had never pushed me towards Islam. She reminded me that it's my journey towards God and no one has the right to judge that. I think that was a huge catalyst of what gave me the strength to take my Shahada. After I took my Shahada, I saw her a few minutes afterwards and she was surprised. I remember her saying, "But I thought you said you were still figuring things out." I said, "You're right, I still am. That's what the journey is for."